Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praise, glory, and honor to the Most High Yahweh in the name of His Son Yahweh Shai, Kal Halal Yahweh Bahashem, Mashiach Yahweh Shai, Barakatha. We are Hebrew Chosen Elect Fellowship here in Wilmington, Delaware. If you would like to fellowship with us, please hit us up in our inbox. Brandon Daniels on Facebook, Yakanan Maccabee Yasha'Allah on Facebook, or in the group The Rise of the Chosen. And today's lesson, we're going to continue in the Torah reading at Genesis chapter 28. And if you can, grab your pen, your pad, your pencils, and take notes. The book of Genesis, chapter 28, verse 1. And Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and charged him and said unto him, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. Arise, go to Panda'aram, to the house of Bethuel, thy mother's father, and take thee a wife from thence of the daughters of Laban, thy mother's brother. And Yahweh Almighty bless thee, and make thee fruitful and multiply thee, that thou mayest be a multitude of people, and give thee the blessing of Abraham to thee and to thy seed with thee, that thou mayest inherit the land wherein thou art a stranger, which Yahweh gave unto Abraham.
Once again, what we see here, we see what? What we see here, we're being reiterated. Over there, what's being reiterated? That means repeated multiple times already at the beginning. What's being repeated? The covenant of our fathers going to Jacob. But this time it doesn't say Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. It says the covenant of Abraham. Because what do the Christians and there's the people that don't understand the Bible, what do they think? Abraham has a separate covenant. That, okay, Jacob got his covenant, but Abraham has a different covenant that everybody falls under, right? But right here, what do we see? He says that covenant is being specified goes to you, Jacob. That covenant that's to Abraham, yeah, that covenant is going down to Jacob. It's not an all-inclusive covenant. That's what we see with this reiteration of the covenant going to Jacob. John?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Isaac sent away Jacob, and he went to Padan Aram unto Laban, son of Bethuel the Syrian, the brother of Rebekah, Jacob and Esau's mother. When Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob and sent him away to Padan Aram.
Reverse a little bit. Back to 4. Something else just stuck out.
Okay, yeah.
Read 4 again.
And give thee the blessing of Abraham to thee and to thy seed with thee, that thou mayest inherit the land.
It's a seed thing. Yeah. It's a seed thing, because you got the spiritual Israelites now that inherit this blessing as well. No, it's a seed thing. Other scriptures even let you know that spirit goes down through a seed, but it's a seed thing. Keep going. And inherit.
And give thee the blessing of Abraham to thee, and to thy seed with thee, that thou mayest inherit the land wherein thou art a stranger within Yahweh gave unto Abraham.
Which thou gave unto Abraham. But it says wherein thou art a what? Who's a stranger? Jacob. You're going to inherit the land where you're a stranger. So, because in the New Testament and all through the Bible, the stranger, whenever Christians, blacks, Puerto Ricans, so-called white people, whoever they don't understand the Bible, whenever they read stranger, what do they say? Everybody that's not Jacob. But Jacob is a stranger to the land that he's going to inherit. So even in the future tense, the prophecies, a lot of the times when it says stranger, if it's dealing with this, no, all the time when it says stranger and it's dealing with this inheritance, it's talking about Jacob.
Okay.
Because Jacob has always been a stranger to the land. Everybody else went out and received lands at the first. Jacob was the last nation to receive a land. That somebody else had already taken claim to Canaan, right? So he's a stranger to it. So prophecy of the strangers coming back to inherit anything, that's Jacob.
Come.
You got your hand raised? Come. So, right, exactly, future prophecy and Jacob being a stranger. So that makes sense even when Israel has the land, if somebody hasn't came and inherited it yet, when they come, they're what? A stranger.
Come.
Anybody that you don't know, haven't met, or doesn't live amongst you, you're going to see that as a stranger. It's just a different type. This is a type that's of the seed of Israel. They can still be a stranger. Go ahead. Verse 5.
Isaac sent away Jacob, and he went to Paddan unto Laban, son of Bethuel, the Syrian, the brother of Rebekah, Jacob and Esau's mother. When Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob and sent him away to Paddan Aram to take him a wife from thence, and that as he blessed him, he gave him a charge, saying, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan, and that Jacob obeyed his father and his mother and was gone to Paddan Aram, and Esau, seeing that the daughters of Canaan pleased not Isaac his father, then went Esau unto Ishmael and took unto the wives which he had Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nebajoth, to be his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And Jacob went out from Beersheba and went toward Haran. He lighted upon a certain place and tarried there all night, because the sun was set. And he took of the stones of that place and put them for his pillows, and lay down in that place to sleep. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of Yahweh ascending and descending on it. And behold, Yahweh stood above it and said, I am the power Yahweh of Abraham thy father, and the power of Isaac. The land wherein thou liest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed. And thy seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and thou shalt spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. And in thee and in thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed. And behold, I am with thee, and I will keep thee in all the places whither thou goest, and will bring thee again into this land, for I will not leave thee until I have done that which I have spoken to thee of. And Jacob awakened out of his sleep, and he said, Surely Yahweh is in this place, and I knew it not. And he was afraid and said, How dreadful is this place? This is none other but the house of Yahweh, and this is the gate of heaven. And Jacob rose up early in the morning and took the stone that he had put for his pillows, and set it upon for a pillar, and poured oil upon the top of it. And he called the name of that place Bethel. But the name of that city was called Luz at the first. And Jacob vowed a vow, saying, if Yahweh will be with me and will keep me in this way, that I will give me bread to eat and raiment to put on, so that I come again to my father's house in peace. Then shall Yahweh thy power be my power. And this stone which I have set for a pillar shall be Yahweh's house. And of all that thou shalt give me, I will surely give the tenth unto thee.
What's that represent?
That represents, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, that represents him giving a tithe.
A tithe, and also it says he set this stone for a pillar. We're already seeing he's talking about Yahweh. Remember the stone that the builder rejected. Remember, he said, I come in the volume of the book.
The chief cornerstone.
When we read this, we just read like, oh, it's the pillow that he used, the rock, he poured oil upon it, but it's a lot deeper than that. Jacob was putting his rest in Yahweh and his son, Yahweh. He just saw a vision of everything. So he's seen Yahweh already. And remember, Yahweh is the word. So he's putting his rest in what? The word. So that stone is it's another place symbolic for Yahweh. Yahweh being through the whole Old Testament. Right? Right. Right. So we see this all the way back in through the whole Bible.
What about the ladder?
The ladder?
Yeah.
What you got?
No, I thought maybe you had something.
I do, but it's a little deep. It ain't really. Unless you got something on it.
Nah, you good.
No, I don't really want to go that much into it. I just the stone part sticks out though.
Yeah, the ladder, whole nother lesson.
Up in 14, where you read, and guys, it says, and in thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed. So now we're looking at earth versus world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when Israel is restored, the earth, all of humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because when the righteous are in rule,
people rejoice.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So now this is increasing.
Yeah.
The world is not.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. So how could that be all inclusive when the world's in rule, the earth is in rule right now, but by wicked nations. Chiefly the wicked nation. But through Jacob, when Jacob has world dominion, the earth is blessed. Kind. Chapter 29.
Chapter 29, verse 1. Then Jacob went on his journey and came into the land of the people of the east. And he looked, and behold, a well in the field. And lo, there were 3 flocks of sheep lying by it. For out of that well they watered the flocks. And a great stone was upon the well's mouth. And thither were all the flocks gathered. And they rolled the stone from the well's mouth and watered the sheep, and put the stone again upon the well's mouth in this place. And Jacob said unto them, my brethren, whence be ye? And they said, of Haran are we. And he said unto them, know ye Laban the son of Nahor? And they said, we know him. And he said unto them, is he well? And they said, he is well. And behold, Rachel his daughter cometh with the sheep. And he said, lo, it is yet high day, neither is it time that the cattle should be gathered together. Water ye the sheep, and go and feed them. And they said, we cannot until all the flocks be gathered together. and till they roll the stone from the well's mouth. Then we water the sheep. And while he yet spake with them, Rachel came with her father's sheep, for she kept them. And it came to pass, when Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, that Jacob went near and rolled the stone from the well's mouth and watered the flock of Laban, his mother's brother. And Jacob kissed Rachel and lifted up his voice and wept. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's brother and that he was Rebekah's son. And she ran and told her father. And it came to pass, when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob, his sister's son, that he ran to meet him and embraced him and kissed him and brought him to his house. And he told Laban all these things. And Laban said to him, surely thou art my bone and my flesh. And he abode with him the space of a month. And Laban said unto Jacob, because thou art my brother, shouldest thou therefore serve me for naught? Tell me, what shall thy wages be? And Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored. And Jacob loved Rachel and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter. Mm-hmm. And Laban said, it is better that I give her to thee than that I should give her to another man. Abide with me. And Jacob served 7 years, and Rachel, and they seemed unto him but a few days.
So what we see here? What are we seeing right here at this point? Who knows?
Can you speak up a little bit, please?
Oh, we're watching them enter into a covenant.
But who? Right. Rachel's what? Her father and who? Her potential what? Husband. We're seeing the proper way to go about taking a wife. It's not just I see a wife and I mean a woman and I like her, I want her, and hey, what's happening? What you do? You like weed? You like to drink? Try and go back to the spot with me. Then you lay with her. And the next day, we a thing. She belongs to somebody. A woman is a man's possession, so a daughter is a man's possession. How do we go about attaining a woman? It's supposed to go to the father.
That's right.
It's supposed to be a deal made with the you was at the summit. Did you come up to the classes? You was in there, right? Thought did a great class on the proper marriage, and showed how over in Africa they still do this like that. I didn't prepare this. If I got it, this would be a good little side note. Over there in Ghana, that's where he's at.
Yeah, he's in Kumasi.
He said the Igbo, right? You didn't save that paper, did you? Let me see if I got it real quick. He said they pretty much still kind of do a thing like this. The father gets a certain gift, right? The bride gets certain gifts. Dowry, yeah. Oh, here it is, the Akan. They have I don't know if you saw it, y'all wasn't there. Mike Oliver, was you in the class?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Akan, they got a marriage, traditional marriage list. So like the bride price is $500 What's that? What's that? It's like the
Bride
it's like
pays
$40,
500
but it's five. It's not dollars.
and 2 bottles of schnapp.
2 bottles of schnapps, which is like a liquor, right?
But it's not 500 US though.
No, that's why it equates to like $40. It equates to like $40.
We can find out real
The
quick.
father, go ahead. Let me see it while you look that up. So that's for the what's the Tiramisu again? That's the bride price. Do you remember what Tiri NSA means? Either way, so you got the I don't remember, but that's why this is like I didn't plan this. It just popped in my head. So but that's
It's $31.90 US.
about $31.90. The father's side receives a full piece cloth, a Hinema sandals, that $31 equivalent, and 1 bottle of whiskey. The mother gets a full piece cloth, headgear, slippers, 300, whatever that equates to. It's less than 31 because it's 300 for the mother. Then for the bride, she gets $200, whatever that equates to. It's a little bit more or less in money. Then she gets a ring, a Bible. She gets 4 crates of soft drinks. This is for the ceremony, I believe.
It's not
Like, but
expensive wedding.
the man, you got to provide these things, and yeah, it's not outrageous. It's not crazy. Let alone you also, before you set this up, you're setting it up with the father the same way it was done in ancient times. So people still do this.
Yeah, this dowry is not. That's so far that's 31, and then it's 1914 for which you would get the mother, and then it's 200 for
200. So it's a little bit less, probably like 12.
yeah, it's 1276.
1276. So it ain't even
It's
a
not
lot.
expensive wedding at all.
It's really, if you think about it, more symbolic because what are you doing with $12? But then over there, you might get more, probably more than what we get over here. But
Oh, of course.
still the same. It's not like you're not giving up everything you got to acquire the woman, but everybody gets something. It's not like I said. It's not just go. You like somebody and go figure out a way to get her to lay with you, and now y'all together.
Side note, the people Akan too. They're the people in the book of Joshua, Akan, and it would be spelled Achan, and it's still Akan because it's the descendants of the Ashanti.
Right.
So
that's
they represent
Levi.
the people of the Bible.
Huh.
So this is oral tradition that's coming down through actual biblical traditions.
Yeah, it's not
So-
perfect, but it just shows you though. It just shows you, like you said, it's been come down through biblical traditions. Like she gets shoes. I mean, you know, and most of this stuff is for some type of feast for the the wedding. But that's what we're seeing, the proper way to go about that. Obviously, today we don't do none of this. We don't do none of this here in Babylon the Great. But
Yeah, we
Now
do it
that
the
we know,
Greco-Roman
though,
way.
we
That's-
can start to change those things even here in Babylon because we have children. And the children don't have to go about things the same way we do because if you know better, you do better. So now the kids can do better. And we can train them up in the proper way to go about things. Our daughters can start, being given to who we choose. We can start saying, look, hey, that dude, he ain't right. And she's gonna what? Listen, because she's been trained up from a child to listen. She's gonna take heed because she understands the value from a young child. She understands the value of wisdom from her father and his direction and his say so. But that's how it was done. You go to the father and they would make a deal. And that's what Jacob's doing. It's just like buying a car. You got your side of the deal, I got my side of the deal. So everybody gets that, right? Specifically,
It's a covenant between
y'all
the father
got it.
and the
Y'all got it
father-in-law.
over there. Y'all understand?
So it's very, very important that if you're dealing with a female, you deal with their father.
Yeah, we're not taking
Very,
them
very
behind
important.
the bleachers no more. That's gone away. We ain't rocking out like that no more. right? You know, and then you want to look for women that believe the same thing you do. You do this with a chick that's, you know, raised up in the world and of the world, you probably won't even be able to find her father.
That's what I was about to say. It's important nowadays that you meet her father because you want to see how she respects her father too. You know what I mean? And I'm learning that too, even as a grown man. You want to see how a woman respects her father, because if you don't see that, you're going to find out the hard way how she respects her father, because she's going to show you that same respect she showed her father, which may be little to no respect.
We find a good example of that a little bit above. We kind of skip by. He came to the village and whatnot, and he found verse 6. And he said unto them, Is he well? Speaking of Laban. And they said, He is well. And behold, Rachel, his daughter, cometh with the sheep. She was tending to the sheep. She was making herself useful. Making herself useful, not sitting at home in front of a mirror somewhere, painting her nails and fixing her eyelids. You know, she was being useful.
It also shows where the Most High have led breadcrumbs, so when we go into the hours of thinking ourselves, we'll be able to see our history, or remnants of our history apart from the nations, so that we'll be able to bring those back to remember. What was stolen.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, we can pull the book Job 8 and 8 for that.
You want something?
Yeah, and it's good that he said that.
Verse 2.
Job 8 and 8. This is sweet and simple.
I ain't gonna pull it up.
Okay, the book of Job, chapter 8, verse 8. And it says, For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers. So it's important that we see how our fathers did things, you know, and see that he went to the father, asked for the daughter or whatever, and they made an agreement amongst each other. Because you see how he take care of the daughter, you see that he has respect unto you, and yeah, he gives the blessing of the marriage.
Good. We can go back if you've done it.
I'm sorry. The book of Genesis, chapter 28, verse 18.
29.
Verse 29, that's what we're reading?
19.
Verse 19. Oh, 29, slack it.
Yeah, chapter 29. You talking about chapter?
Yeah, 29.
Yeah.
Verse 18.
Come.
And Jacob loved Rachel and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter. And Laban said, It is better that I give her to thee than that I should give her to another man. Abide with me. And Jacob served 7 years, and Rachel, and they seemed unto him but a few days, for the love he had to her. And Jacob said unto Laban, Give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her. And Laban gathered together all the men of the place and made a feast. And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah, his daughter, and brought her to him. And he went in unto her. And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zilpah, his maid, for a handmaid. And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah. And he said to Laban, What is this thou hast done unto me? Did not I serve thee for Rachel? Wherefore then hast thou beguiled me? And Laban said, It must not be so done in our country to give thee the younger before the the firstborn. Fulfill her week, and we will give thee this also.
So Laban, he's being crafty, obviously, like the heathen do, like the other nations do. Yeah, he could have said that from the get-go. But he made the deal, and he did what? He reneged on it, switched it up, threw Leia in there, and now he's okay. He done got paid a lot. He got paid 7 whole years of service.
He did a nigger move.
Yeah,
but Salaki, he was trying to be honorable by marrying off the older daughter first. Yeah,
right.
At the same time, but he was crafty in doing it. Yeah,
he could have definitely said that. He was very crafty, and he slid her in there.
There's a term in the law that says, "He that is ignorant of the law elect."
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't he explained to him that it's not our custom to give you the younger one first.
Yeah.
So he let him be ignorant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Pull the okie doke.
Yeah.
This is the first time, or well, he could have changed his wages during time service. I ain't gonna say first time, but we're gonna see later. Laban had this was a regular thing with him to deal falsely, right? So verse 26.
Verse 26, and Laban said, it must not be so done in our country to give the younger before the firstborn. Fulfill her week, and we will give thee this also for this service which thou shalt serve with me yet 7 other years.
Mm-hmm.
And Jacob did so and fulfilled her week. And he gave him Rachel, his daughter, to wife also.
So he fulfilled the week of being with Leah for a week. And then he got the deal for 7 years, and then he gave him Rachel. So the ceremony is something like that would be like where you get the after you get married here. What's it? You go on a honeymoon. So he fulfilled a week of them being newlyweds, right? Then he gave her. Then he gave him Rachel, the one he wanted, after he made the deal. So now he's getting a whole nother 7 years. Laban looking at it like, look, I'm getting blessed with you, so I want another 7. So he got the 7. He gives him Rachel, and now he's got to serve another 7. Go ahead.
And Laban gave to Rachel his daughter Bilhah, his handmaid, to be her maid. And he went in also unto Rachel. And he loved also Rachel more than Leah.
Because some people think that he had to serve the 7 years, then get Rachel. But he says 7 days, then he gave him Rachel. He made the deal for 7 more years. But if he served 7 more years to get Rachel, how were they all having children the whole time he served? See how that don't make sense?
Yeah.
Because he's only there for, that's 14 years. And he's only there for total of 20. It'll tell us. I think it's like 20 total. But they're having children. They're going back and forth. He's having children with 4 different women. Rachel's going to complain of being barren. That means she's doing what? How she knows she's barren if she's having what? Sex. So she was given to Jacob then, not after serving 7 years. Go ahead.
And when Yahweh saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. And Leah conceived and bare a son, and she called his name Reuben. For she said, surely Yahweh have looked upon my affliction.
Where we at? 32? I don't think we read 30, did we?
Yeah.
I might be tripping. Okay. So Lord saw, okay, Salakia. But I don't go too fast. I got stuff. So go ahead and read that Reuben verse, and then.
And when Yahweh saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. And Leah conceived and bare a son, and she called his name Reuben. For she said, surely Yahweh have looked upon my affliction.
So
Now,
Don't go to
therefore,
the next verse. We'll finish it out.
now, therefore, my husband will love me.
Okay. Because I broke down, I just, when the BLB, I got the meanings of all the names, the Hebrew spelling, just for learning purposes. So Reuben, meaning behold a son. So Reuben being the firstborn, it means behold a son. In the Hebrew, it's pronounced Ra'ah or Ra'aban, right? Ra'aban. Or is it Rawaban?
I think it's Rawaban.
Rawaban, it's lucky. But if you look up there, so you got both the modern Hebrew and the ancient. I threw in the ancient Hebrew. So in the Hebrew, that's how you spell Reuben. Rawaban. I didn't put the connectors, but your R, the first, the Ra, the I are connected, then the Wa, and then the Ba, and the Na, they're connected. Because that's bond. So it says, behold the son. So Ra, Wa, Ban. Ra, behold, Wa, Ban, son.
Mm-hmm.
See that?
What was her affliction that it was hard for her to conceive? Is that
No, she was being afflicted because he looked upon the sister as being more fair.
okay? All right. So she's talking about
Yeah, Leah. This is Leah. Leah's giving the birth right now. And she's afflicted by being hated
okay. All right.
wife, basically. Which in the context, she's not actually hated like we think, she's just not favored. That nigga, whenever he comes around, man, I hate that. I really hate that dude, man.
He just
Nah, yeah. Forced upon him, wasn't as beautiful. Yeah, so, but the Most High, he's seen it, so he's opening up her womb to heal her affliction.
Blessing for one that is a person that is hated in their home.
Huh?
Is it there a blessing for those that are hated in their home, for those that are loved?
I think you're paraphrasing something, right? I think it's a little bit different though, but yeah, I know. I feel you though. I think I know what you're talking about. It's ringing a bell. Something to that effect. Yeah. Trying to think of it. How'd you paraphrase it?
That a person who is loved, like a son who is hated in his house, like another son is loved, that person is hated. They'll do something upon.
Oh, we're gonna go there. You're talking about it's actually we're gonna touch on that. You're talking about the rules of a hated wife and a wife that you love. Which one is the inheritance? Go to, yeah. We're actually gonna touch on that. So we'll just hold off for that one. It's funny you said that. Verse 33.
Verse 33. And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, because Yahweh have heard that I was hated, he have therefore given me this son also. And she called his name Simeon.
So his name is Simeon, which means heard. Simeon means heard. Notice what we're seeing is people also in ancient time gave names based off of meanings. Names had meanings. Not like today where your name's Alexis. Gonna name my son Devontae. What else? Jamal, Devon, Kialia, Kalea, Malaysia. Just come up with anything.
Put
Two names together.
from a car.
Bobby Jerome, Bobby dash
Mercedes.
Jerome. Yeah, Nayeli. You got to sound out all the syllables. Nayeli. Exactly. Just Bob, Jim
Bob,
yeah, Jim Bob,
Peggy Sue.
yeah, Wendy. Wendy. Wendy wasn't the name for its meaning, but it turned into a meaning. Yeah, we went back. She gave me a Wendy.
Shit, oh man, she's a Karen. Yeah. She's a Karen.
Yeah. She's a Karen.
At least I have a name.
Like, huh?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they got meanings to them, but they not our languages.
Yeah. See, the nations do the opposite. Instead of a name having meaning, you give meanings of actions. You throw a name to them, and now you can describe the action. So, it ain't about character, right?
Yeah.
So, in our custom, we would names that have meaning. So, she named Simeon Hurd, and it's Shammai
one.
Shammai one. Simeon means to be heard. Who here can read the Hebrew? Does everybody know the? No. We gotta all make sure we can read that. First step is learning the alphabet. So does everybody have an alphabet chart? Y'all
Yes,
do.
you
Y'all do because
Yes,
we have
you
one here.
all
Don't go
do.
get it.
All
We're not
got
about
it.
to. Not
All
about
got
to.
it. You
I'm
all
not
got
about to
it, 'cause
do
I
a
sent it to
lesson,
all
but
of you.
it's important
All got it.
Yeah, I know.
to be able to read.
You all got it. You all got it.
I got different ones.
Without a shadow of a doubt, you all got it.
I just had one in my hand.
I don't know it either. I used to know it because
No.
me and my son used to study it. Yeah, but I'm rusty.
Okay, but you might not be able to say it like ABC, Abagada, and so forth. But if you see the syllable, you know what sound it makes, right? And everybody got one of these?
Yep.
Well, everybody, we gotta have one. It gives
Who
you
said
the
they need
sound-
one?
It gives you the sound underneath.
You got that, Yard, and I sent that to you. You got that. It's in your email. It's in.
But
It's
he's
in.
got to find it, but
Yeah.
we need a physical copy. But it gives you the sound. So, excuse me. We should all at least, when we see the syllables, like look on the screen, know what sound it makes.
Yo, you
We
already
should
got
all
the
know
one
that,
Mike
okay,
got,
that
like
makes-
what he got right there. You got that in your email.
That makes a sha. That makes a ma. That makes an I. That makes a wa. That makes a na. Then you put them together. It's sha, my, one. Shemai one. We can get these printed out though. And like Yakana said, he can.
It's in a WhatsApp
It's in
group
the
too.
email.
You all should have
You know,
access to it in your email
people
or in a
lose
WhatsApp
their
group.
emails after getting messages after message.
Yeah,
You can request it when you're ready to print it, and he can send it.
Huh.
That way you don't lose it. But yeah, so we all got access to it. We just got to make sure we have these tools and take the time to study and at least learn the sounds. At least learn the sounds, then you can put words together. And then we do prayers in Hebrew and English. Eventually, your prayers in Hebrew are going to start to make sense before you even read the English.
Huh.
Like, not just saying words. When the word is in your mind, you know what it means. So, Simeon, that's son number 2, means heard. Verse 34.
Verse 34. And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, Now this time will my husband be joined unto me, because I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore was his name called Levi.
So, we also see that it was a blessing to have these children. Leah isn't caring that he has another woman he's laying with. Leah is just happy and excited that I'm having his seed. But what's wrong today? Levi, La Ya. La Wa Ya means join to. So Levi was son 3. All to who? Leah. Come on. Verse 35.
Verse 35. And she conceived again and bare a son. And she said, now will I praise Yahweh. Therefore she called his name Judah and left bearing.
All right, I like this one. So here's a little knowledge.
Does anybody know how
Here's
to say
sharpening to your sword to battle the
does anybody know how to say Judah in the Hebrew? Children? No, y'all should know that. No.
We're about to learn it.
How about any of the adults? Yahweh, yeah.
So who knows what it means? It means Yahweh. I would praise Yahweh. Now, when you look up the definition, it just says praise. So what I'm going to touch on now is another doctrine that you're going to find when dealing with scoffers. So what they're going to tell you is Yahweh doesn't have nothing to do with Yahweh. It just means I will praise. And they break that down because when you put Yah in front of something, it makes it like I sometimes. Like if your name is Kazakia, it can be my strength or it can be Yahweh's strength. The difference will be at the end, it'll be a Y with the Yah and the Ha. If it's just Yah, it turns into my strength. So there's some people with that name, and when you name your child that, you give somebody a name, that's the difference if you're saying your own strength or Yahweh's strength, right?
Good.
So how do you say praise? It's off of a word that's Yada or Hada. Either way, so they'll just say that these Yah, How, Wada, the Yah, and the Ha are just added in to basically make it like I will praise or whatever. Not Yahweh. That's what they'll take away. That's the point. I forget exactly the details in that, but this is what you'll face. So how do you prove that it's Yahweh dub, meaning I will praise Yahweh as simple as in the text, where it says in English, the Lord doesn't say Elohim, it says Yahweh. Yeah. So in the Hebrew, when she's naming, like you see, I'm just pulling up BLB and giving you the meanings that's already in the text, right? I named him Levi because now Jacob's joined to me. Levi means join to. Join, what was it? Join to, right. So in English it says, now I praise the Lord. In Hebrew it says, Yada at Yahweh. It says Yahweh. So the Yahweh Awada Salaki. Awada Ath Yahweh. So Awada means will I praise. Ath is a connector. Yahweh. It's very simple.
Yep. Now will
so
I praise
Yahweh's in there, exactly. So his name means praise Yahweh. Or Yahweh's praise, however you want to, word it in English. It definitely is Yahweh.
Nope.
It's not just praise. Like you see up there, that's what they put. Judah means praise, or it means praise Yahweh, or Yahweh's praise. That's how you prove it, by going into the Hebrew. Sometimes you have to, sometimes you don't. So it's Yahweh.
Come.
Chapter 30.
The book of Genesis, chapter 30. And when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister and said unto Jacob, give me children, or else I die.
Mm-hmm.
And Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel.
She's kind of stretching it, ain't she? Give children, else I die. But this shows the importance. So she was vexed. And she's getting a little out of pocket. Go ahead.
And Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel. And he said, am I in Yahweh's stead? Who have withheld from thee the fruit of the womb?
All right, stop right there. So just with this little dialogue, we can go into a whole lesson. We can go into a whole lesson, and that's what we're going to do. And so it raises a question. It raises a question. It's relevant to today and our relationships and our lives today. Is it good or healthy in a relationship with an associate, friend, spouse, etc., to freely vent to the other person your grievances with them? That's the question. What do y'all say? And let me give you the definition of vent. But before I give it, what do y'all say? Is it good and healthy to just freely vent your grievances with your friend or your spouse or associate? No? No? Everybody in agreement? Because it's not. But what do we see here? Rachel's doing it. And that's why Jacob got angry. So since we're all in agreement, let's get the definition. So the definition is give free expression to a strong emotion. That's it. Just give free expression. Also, or provide an outlet for air, gas, or liquid. You know how people say, yeah, I'm just blowing steam. You done cursed everybody out, though. You done said a whole bunch of stuff that's offensive to a whole bunch of people, but I'm just letting off steam, man. My bad. No, you gotta have more control than that. And this is what we read. Rachel envied her sister and said unto Jacob, give me children, or else I die. And Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel, and he said, am I in God's stead? So her problem was she was envious. Rachel was envying her sister. After that, she just, by just giving freely expressing her emotions that are based off of her envy for somebody else, she's accusing Jacob. Envy means, who knows what envy means? Basically jealous. It means a feeling of discontented or resentful longing aroused by someone else's possessions, qualities, or luck. So Rachel's seeing Leah.
Covetous.
Yeah, she's being covetous. She's seeing Leah. That's another one. Jealous, covetous. She's seeing Leah give birth to all these children. She's getting jealous. She's coveting the fact that Leah's womb is not barren and hers is. Desire to have a quality possession or other desirable attribute belonging to someone else. So she was envious and had these feelings towards Leah. So her response to that is start just freely venting her discontentment and blaming Jacob. But what say the scriptures regarding envy? And the first thing you go to is in the Big Ten, Exodus 20, 17 to 18.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's.
So, ain't that what Rachel's doing here? Ain't that what a lot of us do? Ain't that like one of the main problems in our community? Is the fact that everybody is in a covetous spirit, right? What causes violence over I don't know, money? Why do people fight over $20 being owed to another person? Why do people rob other people at gunpoint over how much money they're making on that street? They already covetous. They're covetous. Why do people fight over blocks? They're covetous. Why do our people walk around with the "I'm gonna take your girl" spirit? They're covetous.
Huh.
Why do y'all get mad about somebody playing with your toys and you didn't say they could? Huh? Or why do you get mad that somebody has something and you don't? You don't know? Because I'm going to tell you. Because what? Because you're being covetous. Yeah, you're being covetous. You got to check that. You got to check that at the door. You're breaking commandments. When you get mad about stuff that really don't matter, like what somebody else has, you're being covetous. Or they're using something that belongs to you. You're not using it. You're being covetous. Keep going. Verse 18.
Verse 18. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off.
So this shows us what? They was afraid of what? Huh? The Most High, right? The Most High and what? His commandments. Because you should be afraid to break his commandments. That's the whole point here. You should be afraid to break his commandments. When you're feeling envious or covetous or jealous and it's causing you to start an argument with your partner, whether it's your friend or spouse, you're forgetting this. You should be thinking about the fact that we hear from the thunders and lightnings of the Most High. And if you got this spirit and you just running with it, and your actions are just of your own mind and own will to let somebody know how angry you are or how they ain't ish or whatever it may be, you're leaving off that fear. You don't worry about the thunders no more. It's just bad weather. Thunder comes, it goes. It's called a rainstorm. No, where's your fear of the Most High? You have that spirit, you should be checking it in the fear of Yahweh. Mm-hmm. James 1. Hold up. I don't think we're going there. Let me check. You can pull it up while I look though. I know we're going to James 1. Let me check. Okay, bring it up.
James 1:19. Wherefore, my beloved brother, that every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath.
Mm-hmm.
For the wrath of a man worketh not the righteousness of God.
Huh. That's it?
Yes, that's it.
Read the next verse.
Okay. Wherefore, lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your souls.
So we're supposed to lay off those spirits and put on meekness. supposed to put off covetousness, envy, put on meekness. That means you're not cussing out somebody. What do the women on like Love and Hip Hop do? What do you see on Love and Hip Hop or Bad Girls Club or Flavor of Love? What do you see a lot of? And you see, and it's a mirror of what we see in our neighborhoods. What do we see? A lot of
a bunch of cattiness and foolishness.
Cattiness and women taking authority, talking to the men however they feel. Whether it be any men. It ain't even just their man. Women will cuss you out, and you live 2 doors down if you piss them off enough.
God. If you watch them shows and I see that and like if I'm courting you, that's red flags right there. I'm taking that as a red flag from the door. That's a red flag because you're gonna try to reenact that in a relationship.
And when the smoke clears, though, what do they say a lot? A lot of the time, because a lot of times they don't actually. Once they get it out, a little bit of time passes, maybe an hour, maybe a week. What do they say about what happened? About how they lashed out on you. I was what? My bad, man. I was just venting, man. I had a bad day. My bad. I know I talked about your woman, how you ain't fit. You know, I done called out everything. I done let the whole neighborhood know that you got a colostomy bag. You know, whatever. You let out secrets. You just give free expression to whatever's on your mind. You call people out on things that might be secrets. Things that are sensitive topics. Like, that's why your mama died. Remember? Yeah, that's why your mama died. Tomorrow, though. Why are you mad at me? You don't remember? No, what I do? Yeah, a whole lot to say yesterday. Now you want to be friends? I was just venting. You're so sensitive. No, that ain't cool. But we do it a lot. As a people, we do it a lot. Society is a norm in society to just let free reign of whatever you're feeling. Get it out.
It's an evil way to refrain from true repentance.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. You just step aside from repentance. You just brush it off. Man, I was just letting it out. Ain't no hard feelings. But I have hard feelings, though. Oh, you're being sensitive. We all have our moments. Not according to the word, though. The word says something different. Next, Luke 12:15.
The book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 15. And he said unto them, take heed and beware of covetousness, for a man's life consisteth not in the abundance of the things which he possesseth.
And ain't that's a key point right there, because we tackle covetousness, but it's making a real good point. It says man's life doesn't consist in the abundance of the things we possess. But we're in a state of what? The opposite. It's all about what we possess. If I got nice clothes, everybody gotta know it. I gotta be on the block. I gotta put it out there. Matter of fact, if I just got a new fit, I gotta go out just because I got a new fit. Tax time comes, everybody gets a new wardrobe. They out more than they out the whole year. They outside every day washing their car. They ain't washed their car but 3 times all year, but they done washed it 4 times this week. Got a new set of rims on the car. Got a new wardrobe. They balling. Taxes came in. Everybody has to know, because we take value in our life. We base that off of our possessions. So since that's what we value, when we don't have and we see others have, we start to get this little seed starts to grow of that envy and covetousness that's inside.
Which leads us into idol worship and guilt.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those things are joined.
Right.
Idol
Yup. And then we'll blame us. See, so like you said, idol worship. Idol worship is to what? Forget who? The Most High. So I'll start blaming you because of my covetous spirit. I'll start blaming other people. This is who I'll vent to, and I'll start venting on people and placing blame while I vent because of things that I lack, and I'll place the blame on them because why? I forgot that there's a whole nother power. I have a whole God that's going to provide for me or not provide for me.
Come.
But because of that covetous spirit, and then it turns into, like you said, idolatry, which is forget. It turns into forgetting the Most High. Now I get envious, and I'm gonna vent, and I'm gonna blame. I'm gonna point the finger at everybody except for myself, and the fact that the way I'm operating, Yahweh might be keeping things that I want from me because I put too much value in it. It's being kept from me. But we forget that though. And that's why you see every household, every block, every neighborhood, our people are always at each other's neck. Household, friends become enemies. Friends become enemies over what? $20. Friends become enemies over just about anything. You borrowed my shoes. You borrowed my shoes and you gave them back. But when I gave them to you, they didn't have this speck of a scuff that's about that big on it. But it won't come out. You can only see it if I'm really looking, but no, I see it. And that's enough to make friends become enemies. Something so meteor as that. And then it might that breaking of friendship don't necessarily come off of just the scuff. It'll come off of the venting that the owner of the shoe will give to that friend that borrowed the shoe. And through that venting, say all types of shit that's offensive. So like things that are offensive, reveal secrets, pull out traits that are sensitive or other people should know. Just anything. Become a talebearer. Not even intentionally, but you'll bring out things that other people didn't need to know. Now you're a talebearer. Just off of your venting, just off of you're letting the air out. All because something so small as a scuff on the sneaker. It goes back to your envious spirit. Your value of your life consisting in the abundance of your possessions. Hebrews 13:5-7.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 13, 5-7. Let your conversation be without covetousness, and be content with such things as ye have. For he hath said, I will never leave thee nor forsake thee.
That's what you always got to remember. To let your conversation be without the covetousness. So you're already, now that you know, you're supposed to be aware of your conversation, that you're X out the covetousness in your conversation, and you're content with such things as you have. Go ahead.
So that we may boldly say, Yahweh is my helper, and I will not fear what man shall do unto me.
So whatever issue you have with your brother, your sister, your wife, your friend, your husband, your helper is the Most High. So you're watching out for what you say because you're understanding that some of the things that get us upset has nothing to do with another person. It could just be the Most High, and he can keep that from me, and he can turn around and he can give it to me. Whatever the problem is, he can fix that problem.
Come.
So my conversation is going to be in check because I'm not giving over to idolatries and worshiping and for other things and forgetting the Creator and forgetting that I got a power behind me. I'm not forgetting that. So that's my Yahweh is my helper. That comes out. That's your fruit. When you vent and you go about things the way Rachel did, or the way our people do out today, that's a fruit that's showing that, okay, you stepped away and forgot. That's what it shows. Our actions, yeah. And there's a chance you can fix them. You can always repent till your house shall come back. When you act in the way Rachel did, or the way our people do, it's a fruit that's showing that you forgot the Most High. Verse 7.
Verse 7, remember them which have the rule over you, who have spoken unto you the word of Yahweh, whose faith follow, considering the end of their conversation.
Look at those that's above you or came before you, and look at how they act, how they solve their problems. If you don't see it, and mainly chiefly elders, if you don't see elders who's been here doing that, acting that way, that's an example. Okay, I shouldn't act that way. Y'all follow it? Yeah. What say the scripture regarding how we should speak?
Hold on. I want to touch
you got
on
something?
that.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Instead of us searching out how we should consider our elders and how they should act, they're acting the opposite. And this is the book of Isaiah chapter 3, and we're going to start at verse 5, and it reads, and the people shall be oppressed every one by another, and everyone by his neighbor. The child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient, and the base against the honorable. When a man shall take hold of his brother, of his house, of his father, saying, thou hast clothing, be thou our ruler, and let this ruin be under thy hand. And that's what you're seeing. You're seeing a lot of our children, they looking up to these rappers and people on TV or the drug dealer in their community instead of the people who are wise out in the neighborhood, and they want to be like that. They want these people to be their rulers. They want to be led by them, and they don't have the respect that they should have for the elders that are trying to teach them the righteous things. You know what I mean? That's all I wanted to bring up.
All right. Where we at? Oh, wise. Okay. So what say the scripture regarding how we should speak? Proverbs 21:23.
The book of
And
Proverbs.
this is even when you got a problem. This, remember, you have whatever problem it is. This, remember, you still got something on your chest. But you're still always supposed to remember that, okay, there's a standard and there's a way that I'm supposed to be conducting myself as opposed to the world. And you can't forget that. And whatever I'm going through, I can't excuse it away. That's what you got to remember. So what does the scripture say regarding how we should speak? Proverbs 21:23.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 23. Whoso keepeth his mouth and his tongue keepeth his soul from troubles.
So it's important to keep your mouth and tongue, and that keeps your soul from troubles. Proverbs 29:20.
Seest thou a man that is hasty in his
Real quick,
words?
what does it mean to keep your mouth and your tongue? Sometimes, shut up. Control it. Right. What was you going to say? Right. No one talk. How you talk, what comes out of your mouth. Huh? Right. So even if you, hey, I didn't like the way you was looking at that woman. That's a trigger for a lot of women. But if they was keeping the standard of God, they would do what? They would watch how they talk to their husband over. Right? Because that's I brought up love and hip hop. That's usually what it's about. It's usually about that. It turns into the whole nigga woman comes out.
I got a precept that shows the opposite of keeping your mouth. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 18, verse 6. And it reads, a fool's lips enter into contention, and his mouth calls for strokes. So this means, like, if you ain't watching your mouth, you ain't shooting up off your mouth. You know what I mean? If you're going to get punched in your face. and you asking for your lips to enter into contention. So if you showing regard of your mouth, you're gonna leave off, and you ain't gonna lead yourself into this type of conflicts or anything like that.
And what would be an example of that? What would be an example of that?
No examples
amongst men or young men. What's a good example of that? How your tongue? What did it say? Your tongue's called for strokes. What verse? He said, "Where's KJV?"
It's this one right here.
Said 18.
You know, I like the AMP. The AMP says, what's that stand for?
Amplified.
Amplified says, a fool's lips bring contention and strife, and his mouth invites a beating. How does your mouth invite a beating? So now we're going to get off of women and talk about men. How does your stepped on your shoe and then what? But what does that person that gets their foot stepped on do? They just snap. They just start saying, they forget that this dude can knock me the hell out. Like I weigh 120, he weighs 250, and he ain't out of shape.
Might be having a bad day.
It ain't fly. He was a boxer in high school, and I know it. But you go straight to a fence and start blah, 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 going off on the cat, and then you get what? A beating because you just vented. Because you wasn't watching your mouth. That's what these things can happen. And it happens that fast. The emotion comes over so fast. It's easy to fall into it. It's easy to forget. That's why you always are supposed to be circumspect and aware. You're not supposed to be walking through life just playing and not paying attention. Because it's things like this, that's what gets you in trouble.
We also see Jacob, we see the scripture that says, open rebuke is better than secret love.
Yeah, he rebuked him. And he didn't lose his he ain't lose his cool. He straight rebuked her and let her know the truth. And my God, because she's accusing him of something that I did what I'm supposed to do. I did the job I'm supposed to do. I did the action, and the results you was expecting didn't happen, but I can only do so much. Why are you pointing the finger at me?
His seed is the seed of promise.
Mm-hmm.
She's bringing hail in the house. I have
Mm-hmm.
a scripture for that.
What you got?
This is Wisdom of Solomon 4. For into a malicious soul wisdom shall not enter. Well in the body that is subject unto sin. But the Holy Spirit is a discipline. For the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit and remove from thought that are without understanding and will not abide when unrighteousness coming in. For wisdom is a loving spirit and will not acquit the blasphemer of his word. For God witness of his reign, for the true beholder of his heart and the hearer of his tongue. So in other words, he can't allow this to come into his family because he is the man that's going to bring forth the seed of promise.
Mm-hmm.
And she could walk that, or she could throw that off because of her evil tongue, where it says wisdom cannot be entered into his soul. So how does she raise Judah and Levi under righteousness when wisdom won't come into her soul? Mm-hmm. It's going to be cut off.
She can't. But this is talking about Rachel.
Well, I'm sorry, Rachel.
Right. Yeah.
Except Rachel, she's still going to be a progenitor of most of
the Yeah, and that's her job to raise them, right? So how can she? You wonder why you're buried. How do you expect to get that blessing when you ain't in the proper mind to even do the correct job raising them when you do get them? You're not providing that wisdom. You lack you said it, discipline. She didn't have discipline of her mouth. And in that instance, you see it. You see a whole lot. You've been barren. I wonder why. Why have you been barren? Because you think it's on Jacob if you have a baby or not. You think that's who's in control of you being pregnant is the man you laying with.
Reference to teacher, she was the law, statutes, and commandments.
Mm-hmm. No, it ain't gonna be in.
was that address again?
That was listed Solomon.
4.
Yeah,
You said 4.
yeah, Wisdom of Solomon 4-6.
Let's go. From there, let's go. Proverbs 29:20.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 29:20. Seest thou a man that is hasty in his words? There is more hope of a fool than of him.
You see that? So we always got to remember not to be hasty in our words. You save a lot of trouble by not being hasty in your words. What's that mean, to not be hasty in your words? Right, but I'm looking for something else. What's it mean to not be quick to speak? Right. Right. Think before you speak. Yeah. Don't just, nigga, you stepped on my shoe. Your girl a hoe. That's what they'll do. It has nothing to do with the fact you got your shoe stepped on, but now your girl's a hoe and the kid ain't yours and everybody know. Right? And then you getting punched in the mouth.
I have a precept for that one too.
Which one?
The one you just read.
All right.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 17, verse 27 and 28. And it reads, he that have knowledge spareth his words. Slacky. Says, he that have knowledge spareth his words, and the man of understanding is of an excellent spirit. Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise. And he that shutteth his lips is esteemed a man of understanding. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So if something like that happened to you, you're counted wise, you know what I mean? Just for holding your peace at the moment. Because you might get smashed in your face, like you said, if it's a bigger guy, you step on your foot, you know what I mean? You're going to be counted wise because you don't want that dude knocked you out just because you just said something like he said, and you get punched in your face.
Or even if it don't go that far, you can look like a fool. It's not good to look like a fool. It's not good to just blurt things out and then, people start, you might think you're actually correct, and then people start correcting you. And it could get real bad.
Yeah, like an example, the old bus driver beat up the young boy. I don't know if y'all seen that. I sent it to y'all.
I didn't see it.
I think I did see it.
Yeah, I saw that.
But what about the one where the woman got knocked out at the butt? She had spit on the dude, though.
I saw that one too.
That ain't the same, but
No.
But your words can get you that, though. You can say something that's, like not just the shoot thing. You could say something to somebody like that mama died thing. That some people might hit you for that. People are that's something that somebody's carrying a lot of grief about, and like if you're face to face and say that, they might clock you. Yeah, I just buried that woman. You telling me that's why your mama died?
That's awful, man.
And it might technically be an assault, but if I'm an officer of the law and I come up and I was the one on call and I find that out, I might be like, yeah, I ain't locking him up. You'd be like, yeah, I just can't do it. Why'd you say that to them? I'm gonna give him a pass this time.
That's an awful thing.
All you got is a black eye. It'll heal. I'm not locking him up for that. That'll heal. I'm not locking him up for that. Because that man just lost his mom. You should have known better. You did know better. So you wanted that. That's what your mouth can get you.
Something like that I said in my school.
Can you speak up, please?
Something like that happened at my school, and there was an argument, and then
It was an argument. Go ahead.
argument
Take your time.
said that, and then they got ragdolled.
They said that,
They said that's why your mom died.
and so the person's mom actually died,
Yeah.
and they
Like
did what?
recently, too.
Right. And then they
And
did
he
what?
So they got ragdoll.
Meaning he got dragged. Is that what that means?
Yeah.
While being punched in the face?
No, he was getting kicked.
Got Molly.
Well, kicked, punched while being dragged. That's That sounds like a rag doll to me, yeah. And that's exactly what happens when you're quick with your words and you just say
Ragdoll, that
things.
means to be removed like a lifeless body.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And that's also, if somebody did that, that's an example of you so quick to just speak and come out of your mouth crazy, you wasn't even considering. I weigh 70 pounds and he weighs double. He can probably drag me like a rag doll. He can probably drag me like a rag doll. You just throw that out the window, you forget.
Yeah, he definitely
Dealing
should
in
spare his
anger,
words.
and you're
Yeah.
just venting your frustrations. It
That can work in reverse too.
can go in reverse, yeah.
Yeah, you can. It
Can.
the 70 pound beat up.
It can.
Yeah,
It can,
it can. I done seen it.
Size doesn't mean.
No, I don't
It
need
don't.
that.
but sometimes it does matter, and the person that's smaller should, at least had some type of mind that, yeah, I know sometimes little can knock out big, but still, let me not be so out front with my hatred for him. Let me choose my words wisely. If I have to knock him out, I know it's a chance I can, but you don't just like Sylvester Stallone doesn't just walk up to Hulk Hogan and start telling him what a P blank is. He is, right? Because you saw it in the movie Rocky.
Oh, Thunder Lips and Rocky.
Thunder Lips and Rocky. Like Hulk Hogan really towers over Sylvester Stallone, and he was like able to pick him up like a feather. Sylvester Stallone wasn't able to pick him up like a feather. But cats will see that, and they'll just because, like, yeah, the bigger they are, the harder they fall, and start cussing them out. Next thing you know, yeah, but you can't even hit him. You still got to get to him, and then you being dragged. Yeah, and if you could get a hit off, he got a glass chin, but you can't get to him. Should have been watching your words. This is real life activities, real situations. But kind of next one, don't fall asleep.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 15, verse 1 and 2. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger.
See that? One way is soft words. They can turn away wrath. What would be examples of soft words?
Situation like that.
Any situation. Something that would cause you to just say stuff because you're mad, but do the opposite. Soft words turn away wrath.
Swift repentance.
But give a situation though. Like I tell you one. Getting evicted. And let's say getting evicted out of your home. You haven't got the letter yet, but you did all the shit to get your ass put out, right? Like, you haven't paid your rent in 5 months. You break, it's holes in the wall because you already throwed off. You fight with your woman, you got holes in the wall. Anyway, the landlord here to let you know, I don't find it acceptable the way you dwelling in my property. So soft words would be, instead of being that nigga that you are, and cussing him out, and threatening to put another hole in the wall with him, you could kind of apologize, say things to like explain what happened, give him the plan on, yeah, I know I'm 5 months late on rent, but I lost my job. I've been stressed out. Look, if you give me another chance, I already got a payment plan set up. I just got to start getting my first check. That's a soft answer that might turn away that rap he has. Because if I ain't got paid in 5 months, I'm not just coming here professionally. I'm angry. I'm ready to put you out because I'm mad. Mad you ain't gave me that money. I'm mad. I'm really pissed off that I'm gonna have to send somebody here to fix the drywall because you in here fighting with you're ratchet and you're in here fighting with your ratchet woman.
Oh my goodness.
And y'all putting holes in the wall. And got the audacity to owe me 5 months rent. I'm very furious when I come to the door. That might can turn away wrath. Apology, explanation. We're not ratchet. We just been stressed out. We both lost our job unjustly and blah blah. That might turn away his wrath. He might be like, you know what? All that shit y'all going through, I might would do the same. I tell you what, you say you start the job next week, I give you a month. If you ain't doing what you said you about to do, then you gone. That would be a soft answer to turn away wrath. Can I get a tissue, please? That's an example. But grievous words stir up anger. So you could take it the wrong way, go the wrong route, and you could just start venting. You're pissed off. He's coming to let you know that he's upset, that you ain't paid him. You're in the wrong, but you already have a wrathful and effed up spirit, and just start cussing at him. You stir up his anger, and then look, I'm not even giving you 60-day notice. I'm sending 2 6'4", 300-pound gorilla movers in here to put your stuff out tomorrow. Like, but yeah, keep verse 2.
Verse 2. The tongue of the wise useth knowledge aright, but the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness.
Right. Go ahead.
Verse 3. The eyes of Yahweh are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. A wholesome tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
The lips of the wise disperse knowledge, but the heart of the foolish doth not so.
So when you speak, listen, anytime we speak, if it ain't no knowledge in it, we shouldn't speak it. We shouldn't speak it if there's no knowledge in it. What knowledge is there in placing blame? So you're wasting time if you got something to say and it's to place blame.
Huh.
What else?
The lips of the wise disperse knowledge, but the heart of the foolish doth not so.
Verse 23.
A man hath joy by the answer of his mouth, and a word spoken in due season, how good is it?
So when you watch your mouth and you say things at the right time, the Most High sees it is good. Go ahead, verse 26.
Verse 26. The thoughts of the wicked are an abomination to Yahweh, but the words of the pure are pleasant words.
So what it is telling you is that when you're not speaking right things and your speech is off, it's because you're wicked. And it's the abomination of your wicked thoughts. It's just coming out. That's what you're letting out. That's what you're giving free ventilation to. That's what you're airing out. You're airing out how wicked and thrown off you are. You're airing out how abominable you are. We always got control. It don't matter how I'm feeling. If I'm pissed off at you, if you offended me, we still got control of what comes out of our mouth. My grandma used to say, if you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. So just don't say nothing at all. If you feel like you're upset and another person's to blame, you don't gotta let I ain't gonna say you ain't gotta let them know that. There's ways you can, but you don't gotta air that out in your anger. There's ways to deal with that. We'll get to that. But everybody should know by now. It's the classic. Somebody offended you, what do? Matthew 18.
You go to him and him alone.
Go to him and him alone, you let him know. Not vent to him with wise words. Speak like you got sense. This is what you did to me. You offended me. This is what you can do to resolve the situation. Well, I'm not trying to hear that, brother. Then what?
Got out of mouth of 2 or 3 more witnesses.
Go get 2 or 3. Nah, still ain't trying to hear it. Then what?
You gotta go to church.
Go to the elders. What elders, judges, whoever it be. And then if they don't hear, vent to them, blame them.
Dust your feet.
Exactly. Dust them off. Still don't say to vent. Still don't say to come at the neck.
You done tried. I mean, how much were you gonna do? How much were you gonna do if you done took 2 or 3 witnesses to him, and you got the congregation to explain to him. I mean, ain't too much more you can do.
It says treat them as a heathen man, meaning just act. We don't have any more association there.
There's
That's
no
the way
relevance.
you want it, brother. Okay.
So one more time, if you do one more thing, that's it.
After that third time, it ain't no more things. We ain't having any associations.
Yeah.
If there's something else happens where now I got to put my hands on you, it's kind of my fault. How's it go? Fool me once, fool me twice, fool me 3 times. Shame on me, or however it goes.
Shit, I'll be it's 1 and 2. First time, shame on me.
Second time,
shame on you.
Shame. First time, shame on me. Second time, shame on you. Sirach 22.
The book of Sirach,
27.
chapter 22, verse 27. Who shall set a watch before my mouth, and a seal of wisdom upon my lips, that I fall not suddenly by them, and that my tongue destroy me not?
So this is letting us know that we should be watching we should have a watch on our mouth, because our mouths can destroy us.
Come.
What comes out of our mouths can cause us to fall. That's why it's important, no matter what type of emotions you're in, you're mad, you're offended, you're sad, you've been hurt, whatever it is, watch your mouth, because that's when things come out that can destroy you. Keep going into chapter 23. This goes into that. That's the last verse.
23,
1.
Yahweh, Abanawa Yahweh, and governor of all my whole life, leave me not to their counsels, and let me not fall by them.
But your tongue has a mind of its own. That's what comes out when you just let it go freely in your anger. Your tongue got a mind of its own, and this is a prayer. He's praying, Most High, don't let me fall by them. When I'm about to just let my tongue have reign, Most High, come intervene for me, please. Go ahead.
Who will set scourges over my thoughts, and discipline of wisdom over my heart, that they spare me not for mine ignorancies?
Mm-hmm.
And it passed.
The first thing is to scourge your thoughts. This all goes back to is examining ourselves. Scourge your thoughts. You know the thoughts that's off. You know when your intentions is opposite to what the Bible says, to what Yahweh says. You gotta scourge that. But this is before it gets to the point of you just venting off, going off because you're angry, you're sad, and just letting your mouth have rank. You're supposed to, ahead of that, we're supposed to be scourging our thoughts every day. That's part of the putting off the old man, putting on the new. It's everyday process. Scourge your thoughts. Discipline, wisdom. Go ahead.
And it passed not by my sins, lest mine ignorances increase, and my sins abound to my destruction. And I fall before mine adversaries, and my enemy rejoice over me. Whoso hope is far from thy mercy.
Mm-hmm.
O Yahweh, Abanawa, and power of my life, give me not a proud look, but turn away from thy servants always a haughty mind.
Mm-hmm.
Turn away from me vain hopes of concupiscence, and thou shalt hold him up that is desirous always to serve thee.
See that? This is how you preventative maintenance. That's preventative maintenance. You know if your mind's haughty. You know we have vain hopes. We already know we have. Gotta be act daily. Put them aside. Fight those thoughts. Get disciplined. Go ahead.
Verse 6. Let not thy greediness of the belly nor lust of the flesh take hold of me, and give not over me thy servant into an impudent mind.
Mm-hmm.
Here are ye children, the discipline of the mouth. He that keepeth it shall never be taken in his lips.
See that this discipline saves us in a whole lot of things. That's why every time you really read about wisdom, you're gonna find somewhere it's talking about having discipline. What's that one scripture says? There's nothing more valuable. Let's get it real quick. Wisdom of Solomon 8:7 or 6:17. Well, 8:7. This one ain't discipline, but close enough. It says, if a man love righteousness or labors or virtues, for she teaches temperance and prudence, justice and fortitude, which are such things as men can have nothing more profitable in their life. And all those things, you put them together, that's discipline. Prudence is thinking ahead. If you got prudence, you're watching what comes out of your mouth. You're already attentive to that. You're already aware that I got to watch what I say. That's prudence. Temperance is having control over your emotions and what you say. Those are all traits to discipline. And it says nothing more profitable for a man than to have those things. What was up?
David prayed prayer on that too, on Psalms 19, 13, 14.
I'll read for you. Psalms 19, verse 13 to 14. Keep back thy servant also from presumptuous sins. Let them not have dominion over me. Then shall I be upright, and I shall be innocent from the great transgression. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in the sight, O Yahweh, my strength and my redeemer.
Come.
Exactly. It's a transgression.
Great transgression.
Yeah. What could Rachel and others in similar circumstances have done differently?
The book of Philippians chapter 4, verse 1. Therefore, my brethren, dearly beloved and longed for, my joy and crown, so stand fast in Yahweh, my dearly beloved. I beseech you, Eudius, and beseech Syntyche, that they be of the same mind in Yahweh. And I entreat thee also, true yoke fellow. Help
One thing is to be in the same mind. Don't get with or hang with or associate with people that's not in the same mind. You're gonna do yourself a disservice by trying to make the water and the oil mix. Right? Be of the same mind. That's gonna help. Go ahead.
Help those women which labored with me in the gospel, with Clement also, and with other my fellow laborers, whose names are in the book of life.
Go ahead.
Rejoicing Yahweh always. And again, I say rejoice.
Uh-huh.
Let your moderation be known unto all men. Yahweh is at hand. Be careful.
It said rejoice in Yahweh always.
Be careful for nothing.
But the point I want to make on that is, if you should already be doing some type of self-management if you're not rejoicing. If you're in a spirit opposite to that, you should already be ahead of it getting anywhere in managing that. All right, what type of things do people deal with? Stress from losing things or whatever, or anger or sorrows. It says rejoice in Yahweh. So if I'm not able to rejoice in Yahweh, I should start doing something I should be managing that. Verse 5.
Verse 5. Let your moderation be known unto all men. Yahweh is at hand.
Go ahead.
Be careful for nothing, but in everything.
Be careful for nothing. What's that mean? Who knows what that means? Be careful for nothing.
Anxious.
Yes.
Anxious? Hey, I'm not. I don't think so.
He said, be careful for nothing.
Be careful for nothing. Yeah,
Like to be lusty or
yeah. A lot of times we take care for things that don't matter. Taking care for like
Useless things.
useless things. Like yeah. Be careful for nothing, or even things that ain't useless. Sometimes you over care about if your bills get paid on time. You can over care about that. You can over care about get going to the point where you're not relying on the Most High no more. You're relying on your own hands to keep yourself afloat. And everything you do, your mind is always given to making sure that the things that you have stay, you stay in possession of. So you're being like, it ain't good enough to have two jobs. You're getting a third job. Because people lose their homes, people lose things, and you got things and you don't want to lose it. So I'm getting a third job because I gotta be careful. Gotta make sure I got 2 months rent ahead in the bank. Always got an extra 2 months in case I need it. But I ain't taking no time to get my spirit right and feed my spirit because now I'm careful for things that he'll provide if he's gonna provide. He'll keep it if he'll keep it. And I forgot that once again. Go ahead.
Be careful for nothing.
No.
What's like it?
It's also a testament. You see brothers coming out of prison and stuff, where that'll be their testimony. They were careful for nothing. They didn't see the job on their rise. So I have to go back out here and sell weed and get a dope.
Mm-hmm.
They got me into this situation that I'm trying to get out. They didn't rehearse the righteous acts of patience
Right.
or the fruits of the spirit.
Right.
Therefore, they become victims of being not putting on the whole armor of the Most High.
And that's what it's letting us know. Don't be careful for anything. We just hear the word care like don't care about anything. Yeah, don't. In terms of like always, how's it go? In the last days, let the buyer be as though he bought not. That's basically what it's talking about. Who knows where that's at? It said that he that buy be as though he bought nothing or possessed nothing. Let me see. It says second letter. $16.41. Second letter is 1641. It actually started at 39. No, 40.
Second Ezra chapter 16:40.
Mm-hmm.
O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to the battle. And in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away. He that buyeth, as one that will lose. He that occupieth merchandise, as he that have no profit. Buy it. And he that buildeth, as he that shall not dwell therein. He that soweth, as in if he should not reap. So also he that planteth the vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes. They that marry as they that shall get no children, and they that marry not as the widowers. And therefore they that labor in vain.
Mm-hmm. See that? That's having a care for nothing, being careful for nothing. That's what it's talking about. The world ain't come to an end. It's cool to pay bills. It's cool to go to work to make money to pay bills, but be as though not, like we read here, because they all can be taken away. That's what it means. And if they are taken away, be cool with that, because we're supposed to understand that we're really pilgrims on this earth. Goes into the whole "this is not your rest" thing. It all goes together. This ain't your rest. Abraham said he was, about to paraphrase, in search of a country that's his. Said about Abraham, paraphrasing. You heard that one? You don't ring a bell?
Nah, not for
It's still, we ain't got to find it. That's having a care for nothing. Let's go back. And, that's important, because if you're able to operate that way, it makes it a whole lot easier to keep your spirit in check, to keep your actions in line with the Most High. If you're able to have a care of nothing, it takes out, that covers most of the battle.
It's like the song, that the Most High keeps his eye on the sparrow.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly. Having that faith that, look, whatever I need, I'm going to get it. And sometimes not even what I need is just a want. I sometimes get that too. But just like he cares for the sparrow, I'm straight. I got the recipe. I got the instructions. I got the blueprint of what to do to be straight. So let me just focus on that, and I'm cool. That should be the main focus. And since I know that it's true, I know I'm going to be cool. At the end of the day, that's going to solve a lot of my problems with any type of emotions that come across my mind, my spirit. Just that not being careful for nothing is going to get you through most of every battle. Go ahead.
We
were at verse 6.
Verse 6, be careful for nothing, but in everything, by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto Yahweh. And the peace of Yahweh, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Hamashiach Yahushua. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things. Those things which ye have both learned and received and heard and seen in me, do, and Yahweh of peace shall be with you.
Matthew 21:18.
The book of Matthew, chapter 21, verse 18 through 22. Now in the morning, as he returned into the city, he hungered. And when he saw a fig tree in the way, he came to it and found nothing thereon, but leaves only, and said unto it, let no fruit grow on thee henceforward forever. And presently the fig tree withered away. Mm-hmm. And when the disciples saw it, they marveled, saying, how soon is the fig tree withered away? Yahushua answered and said unto them, verily I say unto you, if ye have faith and doubt not, ye shall not only do this which is done to the fig tree, but also if ye shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea, it shall be done. Mm-hmm. And all things whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer, believing, ye shall receive.
So what's something else that can be done here? Prayer, and believing, and you shall receive. Because the problem with Rachel is she's not receiving. She ain't receiving. But her answer wasn't to go to the Most High and that whatever she had, she received in faith. Her answer was to blame Jacob. That can go with a plethora of different problems that people had, that we had. Is the answer to go to the Most High in prayer, in belief? A lot of times when we don't receive, it's because that belief ain't there. Even the prayer will be there. The belief don't be there, though. But that's the answer. Instead of venting about it, pray on it. Ask, go to the Most High. Ask for Him to give you what it is you're in search of. And then be patient for Him to give it on His time. Sirach 2:1-10.
The book of Sirach, chapter 2, 1-10. My son, if thou comes to serve Yahweh, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Mm-hmm.
Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate.
Take things cheerfully. Whatever is brought upon you, take cheerfully. Be patient when brought to a low estate. This is what we should do instead of vent. Go ahead.
Verse 5. For gold is tried in the fire, and accept him in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. Yea, that fear Yahweh, wait for his mercy, and go not aside lest ye fall. Ye that fear Yahweh, believe him, and your reward shall not fail.
Go ahead.
Ye that fear Yahweh, hope for good, and for everlasting joy and mercy.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the generations of old, and see, did ever any trust in Yahweh and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or who did he ever despise that called upon him?
That's the answer. That's the better option. That's the better option than to just lose our shit and, vent whatever comes out of our mouth without any discretion, any thought, premeditated. Just let people have it. Get it out. That's what we should do instead. Proverbs 19:20.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 19, verse 20. Hear counsel and receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise in the latter end.
You should do what?
Hear counsel and receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise in the latter end.
That's an option. That's one of the best options. Get counsel. If it's counsel with you, just you and the counselor, or who you got, whatever problem you have with somebody else, get that. You and that person can get counsel together. You might find out that everything that you was thinking against them, you was in the wrong the whole time. Whatever offense you thought they did, you might find by other witnesses or other counselors that you was in the wrong the whole time. Verse 21. So counsel, that's something that we should do instead.
There are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of Yahweh that shall stand.
And that's important. We ain't talking about Dr. Phil or whatever the closest what's it called, a therapist that you can find in the yellow pages. People get counsel to men of the Lord, through men of the Lord that know and understand the word and walk in his ways and have a good report too. Make sure they have a good report, because there's a lot of people out here that put on that appearance, but they're not skilled in counsel. That's the options. That's other what you can do instead. Yeah.
When it says devices, is that another word for ways?
Devices for many devices in a man's heart. Yeah, things that you come up with on your own. It's a device.
Things you devise.
Devise in your head. Yeah.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 1:1-20.
In a similar situation with Samuel's mother, we can see a better example to emulate. First Samuel 1.
Verse 1. Now there was a certain man of Ramoth Zophim of Mount Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, the son of Jerhom, the son of Elihu, the son of Tohu, the son of Zuph, the Ephrathite. And he had two wives. The name of the one was Hannah, and the name of the other was Peninnah. And Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children.
Mm-hmm.
And this man went up out of his city yearly to worship and to sacrifice unto Yahweh of hosts in Shiloh. And the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, the priests of Yahweh, were there. And when the time was that Elkanah offered to have offered, he gave to Peninnah his wife and to all her sons and her daughters portions. But unto Hannah he gave a worthy portion, for he loved Hannah. But Yahweh had shut up her womb, and her adversary also provoked her sore for to make her fret, because Yahweh had shut up her womb. And as he
did
the
same type situation, just like Rachel and Leah. Go ahead.
And as he did, so year by year, when she went up to the house of Yahweh, so she provoked her. Therefore, she wept and did not eat. Then said Elkanah, her husband, to her, Hannah, why weepest thou? And why eatest thou not? And why is thy heart grieved? Am not I better to thee than 10 sons? So Hannah rose up after that they had eaten in Shiloh, and after they had drunk. Now Eli the priest sat on the seat by a post of the temple of Yahweh. And she was in bitterness of soul and prayed unto Yahweh and wept sore. And she vowed a vow and said, O Yahweh of hosts, if thou wilt indeed look on the affliction of thine handmaid and remember me, and not forget thine handmaid, but will give unto thine handmaid a man child, then I will give him unto Yahweh all the days of his life, and there shall no razor come upon his head.
So she didn't go blame Jake. She didn't go blame Elkanah.
No,
she went and she prayed, just like we read it in the other scriptures. She went and inquired of the Lord, went and prayed to the Lord, and even made a vow to the Lord. You give me this child that I'm so desiring, and I'm gonna give him back to you. She wanted the child so bad, she made a vow that I'm not even gonna keep him. She didn't blame anybody. She didn't curse nobody. She didn't even curse out the other woman that was vexing her the whole time. She didn't even go at her any type of crazy type of way. Go ahead.
And it came to pass as she continued praying before Yahweh that Eli marked her mouth. Now Hannah, she spake in her heart, only her lips moved, but her voice was not heard. Therefore Eli thought she had been drunken.
Mm-hmm.
And Eli said unto her, how long wilt thou be drunken? Put away the wine from thee.
Thought she was one of them ratchets came up in there.
And Hannah answered and said, No, my lord, I am a woman of a sorrowful spirit. I have drunk neither wine nor strong drink, but have poured out my soul, therefore, before Yahweh. Count not thine handmaid for a daughter of Belial. For out of the abundance of my complaint and grief have I spoken hitherto. Then Eli.
You know that also shows. Women ain't supposed to drink like men. It says a daughter of Belial, because he thought she was drunk. She said that. I'm not a daughter of Belial. Go ahead. I don't get drunk and get loose.
Then Eli answered and said, Go in peace, and Yahweh of Israel grant thee thy petition that thou hast asked of him. And she said, Let thine handmaid find grace in thy sight. So the woman went her way and did eat, and her countenance was no more sad. And they rose up in the morning early and worshipped before Yahweh, and returned and came to their house to Ramah. And Echdah knew Hannah his wife, and Yahweh remembered her.
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore it came to pass, when the time was come, about after Hannah had conceived, that she bare a son, and called his name Samuel, saying, Because I have asked him of Yahweh.
So she received, because she put her troubles on the Most High. Her prayers was answered. Her prayers was answered. Because and do you think what does Benton get you? Get you nothing. Get you nothing but embarrassment. You look like a fool the next day. The same, you look like a fool while it's going down. And that's why Jacob got mad at Rachel. Like, you sound like a fool trying to put the blame on me and come at me for you not being impregnated. Genesis 30, verse 3.
The book of Genesis, chapter 30, verse 3. And she said, Behold, my maid Bilhah, go in unto her, and she shall bear upon my knees, that I may also have children by her. And she gave him Bilhah, her handmaid, to wife. And Jacob went in unto her. Mm-hmm. And Bilhah conceived and bare Jacob a son. And Rachel said, God have judged me, and have also heard my voice, and have given me a son. Therefore called she his name Dan.
So Yahweh judged her, but also heard her voice, and give her a son whom she named Dan, which means a judge. So she named him because God had judged her. And this child she named Dan, which means a judge. Going back to all the names have meaning. And in the Hebrew, it's similar to English, Don. It's just Don in Hebrew. Means a judge. Verse 7.
Verse 7. And Bilhah, Rachel's maid, conceived again, and bare Jacob a second son. And Rachel said, With great wrestlings have I wrestled with my sister, and I have prevailed. And she called his name Naphtali.
See? Great wrestlings wrestled with my sister. And that's what Naphtali means. Wrestling. In Hebrew, it's Napath Layah, or Napathalia. You remember?
No.
Naphthalia, that's what it is. That's it. Naphthalia. Naphtali means wrestling.
Verse 9. When Leah saw that she had left bearing she took Zilpah her maid and gave her Jacob to wife. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a son. And Leah said, A troop cometh, and she called his name Gad. And Zilpah,
Gad. A troop cometh, so she named his name Gad. And what's Gad mean?
Troop.
In Hebrew, it's Gadah, so God. Not to be confused with God. It means troop. That's God and the Da. Put that there. That's for a little Hebrew lesson. I'm going to have somebody else read it. On one of them. Go ahead. Verse 12.
Genesis chapter 30, verse 12. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a second son. And Leah said, happy am I, for daughters will come, Salaki, daughters will call me blessed. And she called his name Asher.
So what's Asher mean? Who said happy? Yep. Asher means happy, which is also happy is also blessed. Because in the y'all know the prayer, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners. That prayer, the Hebrew, it's this word right here, ashar, happy. But sometimes it's translated as blessed. So Psalms 1 and 1, the Hebrew starts out ashar instead of barak. Ashara, ashar. That's Asher in Hebrew, ashar. Go ahead. Verse 14.
Verse 14. And Reuben went in the days of the wheat harvest and found mandrakes in the field and brought them unto his mother Leah. Then Rachel said to Leah, give me, I pray thee, of thy son's mandrakes. And she said unto her, is it a small matter that thou hast taken my husband, and wouldest thou take away my son's mandrakes also? And Rachel said, therefore he shall lie with thee tonight for thy son's mandrakes.
Mm-hmm.
In the evening, and Leah went out to meet him and said, thou must come in unto me, for surely I have hired thee with my son's mandrakes. And he lay with her that night.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahweh hearkened said, God have given me the hire.
My hire. God have given me my hire.
Because I have given my maid to my husband, and she called his name Issachar.
And she bought Jacob that night. And she conceived Issachar, so he was named what? What's Issachar mean?
The wages of hire.
There is recompense they put, but yeah, kind. Because she named him that because God has given her hire. And she bought Jacob that night. Who can read this? Issachar in Hebrew. What you got? Ya'asakar. La'a. Anybody? So this first one, that's your Ya. This is a Shah. Shah and Shah. That's your Ka. That's your Ra. Your Shash. Yash. Shakar. Yash. These two connect. Then Shah. Kar. Yashakar. When you say it fast, it just sounds like Yashakar, but it's Yash Shakar. Yashakar. Verse 19.
Book of Genesis, chapter 30, verse 19. Leah conceived again and bare Jacob the sixth son.
Go ahead.
And Leah said, Yahweh have endued me with a good dowry. Now will my husband dwell, now will my husband dwell within me, because I have borne him six sons, and he called his name Zebulun.
What's Zebulun mean? exalted. She feels exalted now. Now she has 6 sons. See, God has endowed me with a good dowry. Now will my husband dwell with me. Exalted, because who is the favorite? She feels like now she's above Rachel because she knows Rachel's the favorite. So he got his name off of this purpose. This names have a meaning. So she named him Zebulon, which means exalted. Because this being her 6th son and Rachel's still at 1. No, Rachel's still actually at 0. Because her maid's having babies. She's talking about this is her 6th that came out of her womb. They both gave their maid, and their children count to them. Because if you're a maid, a servant to a woman, whatever child you have is counted to her. But she's talking about she's had 6 out of her own womb. So now she feels like I'm exalted. Now I'm up above Rachel. So that's how Zebulon got his name. Which in Hebrew is over here. Who can read it?
Zabalawa.
Well, these are connected. So Za, Ba, Wa, the Ba and Wa are connected. La, Wa, Na, which are connected. So Za, Ba, La, Wan. I could, if I'm wrong, I'll be corrected at a later date. But Zaba, La, Wan. Con?
Good.
What sound does that make? Where that little cross is at? Why? That's your why. So za, ba. That's your what would be b, ba, wa, la, wa, na. Exalted. Genesis 30:21.
Look at Genesis chapter 30, verse 21. And afterwards she bare a daughter and called her name Dinah. And God remembered
I ain't even look
Rachel.
at that.
And God hearkened.
Pause real quick. I just want to see what it means because I didn't look it up.
So Leah's one that daughter.
Yeah, Leah had the daughter. And Dinah means judgment. Da Yana. Dine, I guess they connect. Da Yana. Judgment. All right. Go ahead.
And afterwards she bare a daughter and called her name Dinah. And Yahweh remembered Rachel. And God.
That's how it feels when you have a daughter, though. You're getting judgment. Little joke.
And God remembered Rachel. And God hearkened to her and opened her womb. And she conceived and bare a son.
Side must be
And
bad.
said, Yahweh have taken away my reproach. And she called his name Joseph. And said, Yahweh shall add to me another son.
So she said she had Joseph. This is her first one out of her womb. So she said, he has taken away my reproach. So she named him Joseph. What do we think Joseph means?
Yahweh stop.
But what's it mean? It means Yahweh is something. Has added. Yahweh stop. Yahweh is added. Because it said the Lord shall add to me another son. Or well, She got Joseph, and then she's saying he'll add another one. So she added him to her because she's been waiting for this son. Yahweh, Yah, why? This is your S, or Sa, and Pa. Yahweh. That's the Hebrew for Joseph. Yahweh is added. Verse 25.
Verse 25, and it came to pass when Rachel had borne Joseph that Jacob said unto Laban, send me away, that I may go unto my own place and my country.
Uh-huh. Right. Go ahead.
Give me my wives and my children, for whom I have served thee, and let me go. For thou knowest my service which I have done thee. And Laban said unto him, I pray thee, if I have found favor in thine eyes, tarry, for I have learned by experience that Yahweh hath blessed me for thy sake. And he said, upon me thy wages, and I will give it. And he said unto him, thou knowest how I have served thee, and how thy cattle was with me. For if was little which thou hast before I came, and it is now increased unto a multitude.
So this is how Jacob's a blessing wherever he goes. Because you start out with nothing, and then if Jacob's living amongst you, you're gonna end up increasing. That's why when Marcus Garvey wanted to get all them ships together, they said, nah, you can't let them Negroes go back to Africa. They understood this. They said, nah, we can't let them go. Because it's the same thing. Before you came, we had nothing. Go ahead.
For it was little which thou hast before I came, and it is now increased unto a multitude, and Yahweh hath blessed thee since my coming. And now when shall I provide for mine own house also?
Mm-hmm. What?
And he said, what is it that I will give thee? And Jacob said, thou shalt not give me anything. If thou would do the things for me,
This thing for me.
I will give.
Go ahead. We'll see.
So shall my righteousness answer for me in the time come, when it shall come for my hire before thy face, everyone that is not speckled and spotted among the goats, and brown among the sheep, that shall be counted stolen with me. And Laban said, behold, I would it might be according to thy word.
Hold on. Read 33 again.
So shall
my righteousness answer for me in time to come. Jacob knows that he's going to be blessed by the Most High more than anything Laban's going to give him as a price. So he's setting up a deal to allow that blessing off of faith. He's showing us true faith. And this deal he's going to set, it's kind of like a roll of the dice. Like I know the Lions have never won the Super Bowl. I just know they're going to win this year. I'm putting $1,000 on it before the season even starts. That's like 10,000 to 1 odds. I'm gonna make what's that? 100,000 or $1 million. I'm gonna go ahead and spend that money. That's a lot of money to gamble on something like that. I know the Most High, He's about to bless me, so I'm in faith. I'm gonna go ahead and put that money on that. I'm gonna go ahead and put that money down. It's kind of like that. So he knows the Most High will bless him more than anything Laban's going to give him. So he's going to set this deal to allow the Most High to bless him. Go ahead.
And Laban said, behold,
the deal. So he's setting this deal.
Verse 30.
When it shall come.
When it shall come for my hire before thy face, everyone that is not speckled and spotted among the goats and brown among the sheep, that shall be counted stolen with me.
So what he's doing is your typical, like, your quote unquote your perfect sheep, right? Is a solid color, and it's probably white. You probably want the all white sheep. Typically, this is what he's doing. So he's saying the ones that ain't like have recessive genes. We're gonna get to it. Shalom out. So whatever is perfect, if it's found with me, it's perfect by eye standards. I'm talking about, right? If it's found with me, it's stolen. So those are not going to be mine. Those are going to be yours, Laban. You get all the good sheep that everybody wants. Go ahead. Verse 34.
Verse 34. And Laban said, Behold, I would it might be according to thy word. And he removed that day the he-goats that were ring-streaked and spotted.
Also, I believe speckled and spotted and brown are like, you're least likely to get those. You're least likely to get those. You're most likely going to get like white. When you think about sheep, you think about white sheep. So Laban's like, yeah, that sounds like a deal to me. Because he's just taking basically what would be leftovers. I'm going to get he's thinking I got the best out of the deal. Go ahead.
And Laban said, Behold, it might be according to thy word. And he removed that day the he-goats that were ring-staked and spotted, and all the she-goats that were speckled and spotted, and everyone that had some white in it, and all the brown among the sheep, and gave them into the hand of his sons.
Mm-hmm.
And
this is Jacob. Jacob took these sheep, gave them into the hands of the 12 sons.
And he set 3 days' journey betwixt himself and Jacob, and all Slakia. And Jacob fled the rest of Laban's flocks.
Not fled.
Fed. And Jacob fed the rest of Laban's flocks.
He's going to keep working for Laban for these sheep that he got. So his sons are tending to his sheep, while he's tending to Laban's sheep. Go ahead.
And Jacob took him rods of green poplar, and of the hazel and chestnut tree, and piled white stakes.
These are both two different types of trees. And he peeled white stakes. So he shaved off the outer bark. Because when you shave off the bark, you can get the nutrients to come into, if you put them in water, like it's good to put licorice root in water. It has some benefits. Yeah, right. So if you take the bark off, it extracts it better. So that's when he's peeling the white streaks in them, meaning he's taking the bark off. Go ahead.
And made the white appear which was in the rods.
So that's the purpose. So he's taking these trees and he's going to do something with it. Go ahead.
And he set the rods which he had piled before the flocks.
Peeled.
He slucked it. And he peeled before the flocks in the gutters and in the watering troughs.
So he put it where they're going to drink from. He put it in the water. Same way, like I was saying. You want to get some, cook your water up, you can throw like a licorice root in there. You're going to extract, whatever's in there. It's got benefits. So go ahead.
When the flocks came to drink, that they should conceive when they came to drink. And the flocks conceived before the rods, and brought forth cattle, ring-straight, speckled, and spotted.
So he knew the time when they like to conceive. And during that time, he put these rods in the water before he ate, because he knows something. But he knew, so he did this when it was the time that they would conceive. Where we at?
And Jacob did separate the lambs, and set the faces of the flocks toward the ring straight, and the brown, and the flock of Laban. And he put his own flocks by themselves, and put them not unto Laban's cattle.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass, whensoever the stronger cattle did conceive, that Jacob laid the rods before the eyes of the cattle in the gutters.
So he would also wait for when the stronger cattle would conceive. And when he knew the stronger cattle was going to conceive, he put the rods in the water so that they would eat and drink this water. It's got whatever nutrients is coming from these rods. Go ahead. So he waited till the stronger ones, his sheep, and also the stronger of his sheep.
And it came to pass, whensoever the stronger cattle did conceive, that Jacob laid the rods before the eyes of the cattle in the gutters, that they might conceive among the rods.
Mm-hmm.
But when the cattle were feeble, he put them not in.
See
so
that? When they were feeble, he but whatever he's doing, I'm not trying to hook up these feebler ones. Go ahead.
So the feebler were the bonds, and the stronger Jacob's. And
yeah, because the feebler were them white ones, them good ones. They was conceiving regular without eating of this water and this trough. What did it say? Where he put the rods at? Verse 43. Or did you finish
verse 42? But when the cattle were feeble, he put them not in. So the feeble were the bonds, and the stronger Jacob's.
Mm-hmm.
And the man's increased exceedingly, and had much cattle.
So the
and
feebler came out white, and the stronger came out speckled, spotted, or brown.
Yep.
And the man increased exceedingly, had much cattle, and maid servants. He needed more maid servants because he had more cattle, and men servants, and camels and asses. So, was this a crafty trick by Jacob, the supplanter, or Yahweh's wisdom? Yahweh's wisdom, we know that, right? But it would seem like a trick. And what's Laban thinking? Laban's thinking he's being tricked, right? So we know it's Yahweh's wisdom, but I looked up and found some stuff on that. It's indicating that he had a knowledge of genetics. Jacob had a knowledge of genetics. So we just read the verses, but I'm going to read the darker part. It says, he removed that day the he-goats that were ring-streaked and spotted, and all the she-goats that were speckled and spotted, everyone that had some white in it, and all the brown among the sheep. So why did he separate his? Why did he feed them that way? He put the rods when his sheep were eating. He put the rods when his stronger sheep was eating. Why did he do that? But he didn't do it for Laban's. He didn't do it for the feeble. Because you have, first and foremost, you have dominant and recessive traits in cattle. So this is going to give us a list as we look just in cattle. So we got to get an understanding of what's going on here. So this is giving us a chart of what's dominant and recessive. So dominant traits in cattle would be black hair, coat. Recessive would be red, brown. Polled, horn. So polled means what? No horns? So it's recessive for a cattle to get horns. It's dominant that they usually don't. White face, solid colored face. Cloven hooves, mule feet. Dutch belted, non-belted. These are just examples of dominant traits and recessive in cattle. Here's recessive traits in sheep and goats. So recessive traits would be woolly fleece, colored fleece, horns, blue eyes, myotonia, colored goats, black boars, genetic defects, such and such. So I guess like ring streaked and all those things. Spotted, ring streaked. So this is just a chart of when breed you breed them together. So the gray is your dominant and recessive. So if you have a sheep with fully dominant traits and one with fully recessive traits, you mix them together, offspring will come out this way. They all come out half dominant traits, half recessive traits, right? If you pair two of them that are like these offspring together, they might come out with some that are all the way dominant, some that are half dominant, half recessive, some that are all the way recessive. It's just a chart showing you different ways that you breed them. This is what can happen. All the way dominant with a half dominant, half recessive. That'll bring you a few that are dominant, and then half dominant, half recessive, without any that are all the way recessive. And the chart pretty much goes on the same pattern, right? And then if you do all the way recessive, both are all the way recessive, all the sheep should come out that way. If the two are all the way have all the way dominant traits, they all come out with dominant traits. These some genotypes. I'm gonna get to the science part. Let me find it. So it's gonna explain all the charts we just looked at. You want to read this? This side.
We now know white to be the dominant in sheep and all black to be recessive. Wow.
Yeah, I got it. We now know white to be dominant in sheep and all black to be recessive, while Laban immediately yanked all spotted sheep. I hate when it does that. Anyway. While Laban immediately yanked all spotted sheep, goats, and cows to not give any animals to Jacob. So this means only the cows and sheep of a solid color, like all white and all black, would have been left in Jacob's care. However, in his haste to cheat Jacob out of any pay, what Laban failed to realize was what we now know in genetics, that the dominant traits can mask the recessive traits of speckled and streaks. They are called heterozygous. This means every single one of the speckled and spotted were completely recessive. Laban had simply removed all the pure recessives from the herd and left Jacob with all the ones that only looked unspotted and unspeckled. 2/3 of the remainder of the herd still carried the recessive trait of spotted and speckled, hidden by the dominant trait of all white. So the herds under Jacob's care had the genes for speckled and streaks. Hold on real quick. Hand me that on top of that printer. Let me see that. Both of those. I want to make sure I read this in order. The water. Regular streaks. Okay, now I gotta go over there. So unveiling the mysterious trees and mothers died. So that's when we read verse 37, 39. And Jacob took him rods of green poplar and of hazel and chestnut tree and peeled the white streaks in them. He set the rods which he had peeled before the flocks in the gutters in the watering troughs. Then in verse 39, the flocks conceived before the rods and brought forth cattle ring-streaked and speckled and spotted. Okay, over here. Lock it. Oh. Okay. For a long time, no one could figure out what these peeled rods of green poplar, hazel, and chestnut trees would do to cause ring streaked, speckled, and spotted. Some atheists to this day jeer at the Bible as they view this as nothing but fantasy, fables, lies, and the outright use of sorcery. See, that's what the scoffers do, the Christian atheists, whatever. This is how Laban felt. Sorcery. However, science itself has discovered what the mother eats can affect the offspring. This is what he understood, that what the mothers eat can affect the offspring that they bear. So this is what he was doing. Some of the mothers consume supplements high in very simple molecular compounds that zip around the genome, turning off genes. One silenced gene was for yellow fur. When it is turned off, the mouse. So this talking about at the top. So they did a test with mice. So lucky I didn't explain that. So they did a test with mice. So you got one that's yellow fur and one that's brown fur. So it said one silenced gene was for yellow fur. When it is turned off, the mouse's fur color defaults to brown. So depending on what they feed the mice, they can have the gene turn off for the mice to have yellow mice, and instead they'll have brown. For the mice, it wasn't just that you are what you eat, but that you are what your mother ate too. This is what biologists at Duke University Med Center, Durham, North Carolina, had proved in a study. All right, just put them back. So I gotta come up here. They were supposed to print underneath each other. It's becoming unavoidable to conclude that there's something going on besides genetics. In people, a forebear's diet can influence obesity, heart disease, high blood pressure, and diabetes. In mice, diet can influence body weight, blood pressure, and even fur color. Because examples of this inheritance are only starting to emerge, scientists still don't know the full extent to which diet influence health, but they may be starting to figure out how. Molecular and Cellular Biology, August 2009, by Dr. Robert Waterland and Randy Girdle, nutritionists at Duke University Med Center in Durham, North Carolina, reported in Dallas Morning News. These female mice, pictured above, are genetically identical, yet a change in the diet of the pregnant and nursing mothers is the reason the mouse on the right is brown instead of yellow and thin instead of obese. Those two mice that we just showed was talking about. Therefore, the Bible is shown by science to be 100% right that what the mating herd's mothers drank in their water affected them coming out spotted and speckled. Did Jacob know about this, or was it told to him by an all-knowing God of the Bible? That's a good question. And the Bible answers it for us. The Bible answers it for us. Baruch chapter 3, verse 35 to 36, because that's exactly what happened. It wasn't no trick. It wasn't no sorcery. It was the wisdom that God gave Jacob. And he understood that whatever he fed these flocks, he could affect the type of offspring that they had. So he fed them when it was time he needed to make his flock increase with the strong. He fed them. When he knew what was the time for Laban's flock, he didn't feed them the supplements. And that's what he understood. So Baruch 3, verse 35 to 36 lets us know. This is our God, and there shall none other be accounted of in comparison of him. He hath found out all the way of knowledge, and have given it unto Jacob, his servant, and to Israel, his beloved. You see that? He's good. He won't fall. Where's mom at though? Yeah, take him in there. Take him in there for a minute. So the Most High, he gave Jacob wisdom. It said he had found out all the way of knowledge and have given that unto Jacob, his servant, and to Israel, his beloved. So how did Jacob have the knowledge of feeding the mom sheep this certain supplement to have his sheep come out? Because he had wisdom from the Most High. And he had the wisdom to increase his flocks this way. It wasn't dishonest. And it was the deal made. And just like Esau made a deal, Laban made a deal, and it turned out in Jacob's favor. And when that happens, the unrighteous, they don't like that. They don't like that. Because when people, a lot of times, they make deals just because they expect to win. They expect to get the better. So they don't think ahead. They just make the deal like, oh, this is in my favor. So, yeah, you got it. That's a great deal. It favors me. Yeah. They don't understand. And, so I think we can stop there. It's 5:30. So good. Everybody good? We want to stop? Come. So that's the end of the reading for today. Let me take this down. Yeah, say shalom. Say shalom. You in the camera. So that's the reading for today. For the Hebrew chosen elect out of Wilmington, Delaware. This has been our Sabbath service. What am I missing? Announcements. Oh, we have an upcoming coat drive. We have an upcoming coat drive. This is our sixth annual.
Yeah, sixth
annual coat drive that we do every year. It's coming up. We'll be doing it around the end of November, December.
Yeah, the beginning
December.
of December.
Up until then, we'll be taking alms and donations for the upcoming coat drive. So if you have any coats that are used, we accept those, and they can be brought to, touch base. If you have any coats, used or new, you can bring used or new coats to donate, and you can bring them and donate them through me. You gotta be quiet. Me or Yakanan, and you can touch base with us and set up a drop off by Facebook Messenger. His Facebook is what again?
Brandon Daniels.
Daniels.
Yakanan Maccabee Yashala.
Brandon Daniels or Yakanan Maccabee Yashala on Facebook. You can contact me and touch base with me through Facebook as well. At We Are Israel. That's spelled out We apostrophe R and then Israel. You can contact me through Messenger. You can contact him through Messenger. We can set up a drop-off if you'd like to donate any coat for the upcoming coat drive. We also take cash donations through Cash App. Or if you only have physical cash, you can set up that the same way as the coats. But if you have Cash App, the cash tag is different from what's on the bottom of the screen for the coat drive. The cash tag for the coat drive is BDANIE01. So that's cash tag on Cash App. Cash tag BDANIE01. Not 01, 01. That's for donations for the coat drive coming up specifically. If you'd like to help us out and donate or give arms to us for the our ministry, for getting a new location, getting flyers made, anything that'll help us do the ministry, we take Cash App donations at hashtag Hebrew Chosen Elect. The Cash App that's going across the bottom of the screen. Any other announcements?
Oh, no, that's about it.
That's about it. So this has been our Sabbath service. Hebrew Chosen Elect. Once again, I'd like to end by giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh by Hashem Mashiach Yahweh Shah. Peace and blessings to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. And end it out by saying Shalom and Kwam Yasha. You're getting in the way, sir.
Bye.
Say bye.